What is going on, guys? It is your boy Cash, and we are here with the 5-2 dev notes. Looks like KC is trying to get my attention specifically. They had, what did I do? The Maya video. I did that little Twitter video, and then the next day I wake up, the dev notes are here. Really out of pocket because usually their dev notes are released, I think, usually on Wednesday. You know, like usually yesterday they would have posted it, but I guess they were like, yo, let's just drop some news. So right now it looks like as they're saying here, hopefully you guys can read this. I try to always full screen it for you guys. Well, not full screen it, but put it up close. There's going to be a couple things about arena. There's going to be a couple things about boss dungeons. I think they also speak about the advent dungeons in this. So let's just get to it. I put in the conquest board music also, so it's like really intense reading. Alright, so first up is going to be the arena balance reorganization. They're going to be talking about, just to quickly go through this, the reasonings of why they're doing stuff is going to be different. I just want to talk about the actual changes that they say they're going to do, and then just, you know, what I like or don't like about it. Obviously, this is going to be part of the Knights Chronicle Content Creator program, because we always need to talk about what's coming in the game, what's leaving the game, and things like that. I think it's always important to talk about stuff like that. It's always important to keep up with what they are going to be developing, because that's how these games work. They're always in constant development. They can make a good turn, they can make a bad turn, and it's always good to discuss that. So first turn in the car of Knights Chronicle that they're going to be making is that they're going to be changing the recharge time of arena. So now instead of every 10 minutes, they're going to be making it every 30 minutes, but also to change up, they're now, instead of for 5 tries, it's going to be 10. Now, the reasoning for that, they're saying, is just, you know, the burden of playing, especially when you want to actually level, like go up ranks. And now when the game was more active, when we were more active in the game, arena was really fun. What you would do, you would actually go and you would play. You would just sit there and just like wait for your 5, go do something else, like go farm runes or something like that. Your 5 would be back up, do it again, go do something else. Like when you were playing regularly, and it actually was, you were actually able to play pretty frequently. And as far as the fun of arena, I would have to say, I would have to say that was actually kind of fun. Now instead of waiting just 10 minutes, which by the time you were done with your 5 entries, you would kind of be fine. Now it's every 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes, you'll get 1. So pretty much once you finish out your 10 here, you know, then you have to wait within the 30 minutes. So we'll have to see. That's something I think that you'd have to feel out, you know? So you no longer need to wait every 10 minutes during the midnight, because you will have to wait 5 hours to get all 10. So now it's 5 hours to get to everything. Well, let's look at the math, right? Let's do some quick math, right? You guys know I like to do math. So 5 hours to get all 10 back. So you blow all 10. It's 12 p.m. here, so I won't be able to go 10. I won't be able to do another 10 until 5 p.m. You know, respectively. So before, if I wanted to get 20 arena entries in, it would actually take you just 40 minutes. So now instead of, it will take you 5 hours to do 20 entries, which is the initial thing, and then now you would have to wait 5 hours to do another 10 in order. Before, it would only just take you 40 minutes. So I'm not exactly sure, because I actually used to like to do that, like when I was very active in arena. But this is, as you'll see, what they're talking about is about people trying to get to the tippity top. Now this format is more in line with other gachas. I feel like other gachas, there are way longer arena time, so I'm assuming it's going to be more towards that. And I will say that I cheated. Not that I cheated, but I did scroll down, and I think that people actually seem to like this change. I'm not exactly fond of it, because it allowed me to just play arena more frequently. It wasn't like, as it says here, to reduce the burden. I wasn't ever burdened with playing arena. When I had a good team, I liked to play it, and that's what I like to do. But it's different for a person that's casually playing arena, like, oh, my team's winning, let me just keep playing. That's kind of how I would do it. I don't know how about you guys. And again, this is why feedback matters, because if I'm the odd man out, then I'll have to hold the L. If that's why, You know, I'm pretty sure this is a change more for the higher end players, the people that are really well off, and they probably felt some type of pressure. Like it says, that's why they specifically said 10 minutes during midnight. So near the end of the night, where you're sitting there trying to do that so you can get your spot, I think that was causing players to feel like they were, you know, what is the perfect word for it? Like you were stuck in the game. Like you had to sit there and play this game. You didn't really want to, but you also wanted to get the rewards. So now, if a person just did 10 of their things, bust, complete butt all through, and then they can go to sleep and know that for the next 5 hours, ain't nobody touching that. I'm assuming that you'll still be able to use crystals to refresh, but I'm assuming that's where you'll still be able to do that. So this will actually probably force a little bit more crystals out for those people that did it, but that's, like I said, that's how most other gachas work. Second one is the reorganization involving the strongest of the arena. So what they're actually doing is they are taking the search again function away for the top ranked championship tier. So if you are like probably low rank like I am, you'll still be able to search again. But a lot of people, what they're doing is that they have probably a plethora of gold stacked up, and they're just gonna keep searching again, keep their win streaks going, and fight the teams that they want to fight. Like I just personally use it so I don't have to fight certain heroes that I don't like. But I know a lot of people will be like, oh, I have this team comp, it's busted, you know, let me only fight these characters, the gold doesn't matter to me, and they'll always win. So we'll see that. And yeah, there is an introduction of a win streak system. I actually thought they already had that. For new players, they have to play too many games to make it to the top of arena, even though they do not have enough growth. This makes them lose interest in the process, so they avoid playing arena. I think what actually happens, I would think this is somewhat incorrect. I would say that mostly what happens is that once you start playing arena and you start to see, when you start to hit other people that are playing the game, I would say more correctly. Like when I see people in like arena or in my guild that are brand new to the game, I see them leveling up SRs, and I'm like, oh no, you're probably gonna quit the game, because you're gonna realize that SR is just not as good as those SSRs that you've been getting, but you didn't care for the SSRs because you were like, whatever. But I think that that's more what happens, and then you go against these people that have nothing but SSRs, and you're new and you don't know that they're gonna be giving you so many of these things that's actually the units you should just be making, and then you just get discouraged because it's like, oh, I don't have that. You see all the purple stars, you see all the glitz and glam, and then you just kind of get, you get discouraged. Even me, a person that plays the game like for the daily requirements, I even get discouraged when I just see a whole team full of purples, and I'm like, oh my god. Every time I know I have a team, I can make a team to counter this, but since I haven't like played properly for so long, I can't beat it. I know I can't beat it. They're gonna destroy me. So I feel like that's why. I feel like the direction of how a new player goes into the game and progresses, I feel like arena is deterred from them because it becomes too hard for them. I think that that's actually the issue in every gacha game. Like arena becomes too hard, people don't want to play. But the problem is that it's very easy if you know what you're doing. If you're watching the YouTube guides and stuff like that of how to progress your account, some people are going to be ahead of others because they know what they're doing. They're building their SSRs. They're not investing on that Rebecca that you get in the beginning of the game. They're focusing on the brand new character that they just got, yada yada yada. That's what's happening. So yeah. So we would like to solve these problems through the introduction of win streak to help the lower ranked players of the arena to climb up to the top more easily. And I actually think that this might hurt them. They might find some harm in that, because then you're gonna get up quicker, and you're gonna see the purple stars, the awakenings of Ashley, the awakening Damians, all the costumes, and trust me, seeing all the costumes and the purple stars of the costume characters, and you're just gonna feel like utter crap. They have to really be careful with this. I'm interested in how this is gonna work out. Is it gonna work out in their favor or not? And this is really good. This I really like. The reason why I like this is because the way that when you get reset, you actually sometimes get reset and you have a bunch of killers with you, man. And like I said, I am very casual, so what happens is that I get reset, and then I'm fighting against people that clearly play the game more than I do, but everyone got reset to the same spot. So it would actually be better, even I would say more enjoyable to play the game after a couple of days. Like I said, Monday, Tuesday, whenever, you know, whatever it resets, it was just more enjoyable to play the game after the people that are tryharding, that are playing a little bit more seriously, they get out of your rank because they're playing more seriously, and then you can kind of enjoy arena a little bit. But for that first day, you can win like one match with a bunch of people with like level 50s and stuff like that. You win like 1 or 2 matches, the next thing you know, you got the purple man squad peering down on you. So this might change. Maybe with this change, it might make arena more enjoyable. And then, you know, you don't need to search as much because you're still casual, so you're fighting more casual people. And then you hit the harder people, but then you get knocked down and then you're fighting casual again. So if this works together, it might work pretty good. The boss dungeon, another thing that they're here to change, really. And first thing that they're going to be changing is the patterns of how you do the boss dungeon. Now, for me specifically, I'll be first to admit, I know that there are guides to boss dungeon. There's specific units that are really good, and you should really level these units up because they're really good against this. I just put in my best units that are of that element, and most of the time I just auto. I remember before it was like really like intricate of what you would do, and it's like, yeah, whatever. I lost interest in actually trying. So let's see if they're gonna gain me back some interest, you know? This is an interesting thing. So now you'll do more damage if 5 people stay alive. So it might actually be somewhat better to do more tankier comps, because what most people do, at least for me, I'll always speak from my perspective, I would just bring in my highest damage dealers and see what they can do and hope that they survive. And then people would die and I'd be like, yeah, whatever, you know, my resolve and revive people will just keep doing damage and then we'll lose. So that's interesting to see that they're going to actually be changing, you know, keeping people alive. So maybe bringing in an extra healer or a tank might actually be better than just bringing in DPS. And you can just bring in your best DPS and run like a more, you know, Advent Dungeon-esque comp instead of this go in there and attack brainless souls. We'll see how that works in their favor. Now keeping people alive might be a little bit more interesting. Now that I'm slowly improving my dark heroes, it would have been nice to just be like, hey, you did better this week. Or sometimes I don't even know if I'm doing better. Sometimes I switch around characters and it's like, oh, I got 2 million this time, 3 million. Was that better than last week? I have no idea. So if they keep a record of your stuff and then you actually get rewarded for breaking your record, that gives you more incentive to actually play. This is beautiful. I will give them credit. There's no bad or thing I could say about this. This is just good. You get better rewards every time you do better. You get different rewards depending on where you rank at. So yeah, this is just overall better. nothing bad about better. Also, they're gonna add a weakness guide for each boss. Again, I always say this. They need to be more transparent of how you do stuff in the game when it comes to these dungeons. It should not be a mystery. It shouldn't be something that you go in and you waste, and especially boss dungeon, you could go in there and do decent and be like, I did great. And then you can go online and on YouTube and it's like, oh, by the way, if is in a state of taunt, allies can deal this and that. Like, if it doesn't tell you that anywhere, then now you just feel pissed that you're like, wow, I wish I would have known that. Well, you have to wait a whole week, and then hopefully you remember to bring that in there, you know, stuff like that. So this should be in the game. All this stuff should be in the game in some way, shape, or form to give you the ability to abuse it. And that's kind of what I feel like the game needs. You need more stuff that is abusable and in favor of the player if they are aware of these things. Now we're talking about the Advent Dungeons. For those who are new to Knights Chronicles, Advent Dungeon would be the first difficult place. Yeah, pretty much. As it says here, what dungeon should I attack first? And it's kind of hard to know because it's depending on your account. One of the things when the game first came out, Sid was like one of the harder dungeons in the game, and it mostly is because people didn't really have a team for Sid, so they didn't know when to go and fight Sid because they didn't, you know, you couldn't test the dungeon out. You couldn't just go into the dungeon and be like, what's good here, and then you would get destroyed and you wouldn't really know when it was ready. So I do agree with this. So again, I have to read a little bit further to see what they're gonna do. In particular, since the 4-star Annihilation Dungeon is located at the top of the special, When we checked over there, there's a high possibility that they will challenge this Advent, and when they do experience failure, they lose interest in playing Advent Dungeons. That is true, and it's funny because it makes sense. It's the first thing that pops up. It says 4-star, but before you played the game, as you've been playing the game, you've been beating everything. You've been playing the story, you've been destroying it. You don't really know how hard a 4-star dungeon is. You don't know how hard any of that stuff is. You just go into it because I think the game, when you play a brand new account, they kind of tell you to go to Advent and the reason why you need to go to them, but they don't, you know, how do you know how hard 1 is from 2, 2 is from 3, 3 is from 4, you know, stuff like that. And now you have Perina who might pop up and be like, oh, look at you, so cute. Oh, take this defense crush, boy. So now you can't even access Annihilation Dungeon until you beat the lower end dungeon. So you have, once you beat 1, you can go to 2. Once you beat 2, you can go to 3, and then once you beat 3, you go to 4. So that's pretty good. And I'm assuming you have to beat at least 1. You don't have to probably beat all of them because they rotate on a thing. So that's pretty good. I actually like that. Next up, skill description improvement. For some heroes, the skill descriptions were very complicated and difficult to understand. Yes, because they were just, some of them were just flat out incorrect. Some of them had periods in the wrong places and made certain stuff seem different than what they are. And I said that with the Maya build, that in game Maya's S1 completely different from when you looked at the skill on this server on like the mobile room, and it made it seem as though she had an ignore defense poison, which would make sense to like a B. You know, I didn't think that it wasn't, but when you go into the game, it was completely different. So in the next update, the text description of the effects of a specific will be removed. See, this is why. This is why it's difficult to understand. The text description of the effects of a specific something, they missed a word here, will be removed, and the removed skill text description will be displayed as a separate icon within the skill description for a more intuitive, like how I actually say, and this is probably just for like those weird words that they're probably put in, but this is also for like a single target nuke. I know because I played the game long enough that it's 300% of attack, so they can even start using smaller words like this. Like if it's a single target nuke, just call it that. A single target nuke that ignores defense, you know. And then what is a single target nuke? And then they can go into, when you go up to maybe like the skill up section, then you can see like the damage increase. Rune slot expansion added enhancements, order item. This is something that the top players are very interested in. Incoming, the rune slots will be expanded to 700. No, and an enhancement order item will be added to increase the enhancement rate of a rune. Just take out the RNG, because it's sad that even still, when I was watching Iomene, I don't know how to say his name, he was one of the first people that were like very public about beating Perina with his teams, and then he was doing multiple different comps to beat, because he's obviously high up there. He has a lot of costumes, so it's very clear that he drops that bank. So he probably doesn't really care about his stamina, so he probably has enough to probably refresh and do all that stuff and test out as many comps as possible. But he still had plus 12s on some of his stuff, man. That really goes to show you that a person that is spending that much on the game, supporting the game to that degree, he still is not interested in plus 15ing, like finalizing his runes. And that is sad. It's just because of the RNG of it is just too sad to bear. And I'll have to quote, and I don't like quoting different games, but I'd love that Epic 7 doesn't do that. Summoner's War still has a RNG level up system, but it's just annoying. Just give us a certain requirement, especially because in this game you need 2 forms of resources to upgrade a rune. You need enhancement stones and you need gold. So you need 2 resources that you're just throwing to the wayside that might not work out in your favor. Just make it a flat rate. Like, I don't know what top players wanted that. They should have just asked for what the actual problem is that the rune drops are not as consistent as far as you going into the rune dungeon and getting 6-star stuff that you actually want. They should have instead implemented a system where you could probably switch the substats and then maybe make that, you know, something that drops in the Advent dungeons, and or something that drops somewhere else and you have to stack them up, and then once you got them, then you can start redoing runes, and then you can start getting rid of runes, because you don't need 700 runes. There's no reason to need that many runes, in my opinion. Like, and this is not on characters. When you put them on characters, they're on the character. So this is 700 runes that aren't on heroes. Why would you need that? I will always say that that's not necessary. Also, I don't know if it's in here, but they need to be able to sort by substat. If that's not in here, I don't know what top player wasn't asking for that, because that needs to be in the game. Sort by substat. Definitely needs to be in the game. Rune set effect balance. The set effect level for some less preferred runes is raised to allow more types of runes can be used strategically. This just needs to be changed, that these trigger runes just need to be in the regular rune dungeon. It is obnoxious. Or make it another rune dungeon called the trigger rune dungeon and make it harder. But it's obnoxious that you have to go through these other loops and bounds to get these other more interesting runes, especially when you have a character that would do a lot better on burst, on the multi-strike plus rune and stuff like that. And the reason why a lot of my characters are not even as good as they're supposed to be is because I don't feel like going through that. When I play Epic 7 and I do the runes, outside of the fact that they have RNG, but once I get a good rune, I just level it up and I know that it's good and I'm happy. This one, I can get a rune, I have to be like, oh, let me level it up so I can transform it, and then transform it a bunch of other times, and then it might get to where I want it to be, and then I'll try to level it up, and then the RNG might take, like, no, that's just too much. Opinion on future guild battle development. So this is important for a lot of people, because the guild battle, and this is pretty much the last thing that they're going to be talking about. This is going to be definitely a long video, but it's a dev note, and you guys know we like to talk and discuss and all that stuff. So yeah, future of the guild battle development. Guild battle improvement is not in this update. However, we would like to express the development team's opinion because there is constant requests from the players. Many players are telling us about the problems of guild battle. I think that you should just do the guild battle. It's something that happens and it's for the entirety of the day. That's the easiest way to fix that. Right now, if I forget to do the guild battle, like if I forget to like actually attack, like as the guild leader, and like set up the attack and do it and all that other stuff, or someone, I don't have a vice or anything like that. But if it was just something that goes throughout the day, you increase the rewards to accommodate the possibility of doing 3 attacks a day, but you do 1 attack and everyone has the time to do it throughout the entirety of the day, and then it just goes away. And then I think right now you have 12 attacks, so you just have it for, what is it, the week? The week is, I think, technically 6 days, and then on the 7th day it shuts off, if I'm not mistaken. And then just have it, you can attack every day, or you can shorten it up, because I know that in Epic 7 they was like, oh, you need a day of rest, you know, so maybe just 5 days, Monday through Friday, and then you take Saturday and Sunday off. You know, you could do that as well, but just make it throughout the entire day, and it makes it a lot easier. A lot of other Summoners War did the same thing. It just allows people to just, whenever you get a chance to do it, the more, you know, unga bunga, the more people that are more intricate and want to like plan out, they could do that too. But this allows us to be like, oh, you get on and attack when you can, no biggie. You know, people that are casual, they're going to do casual things. People that are more serious are going to do more serious things. And you'll see people that are more in tune to the time and stuff like that. But there are going to be people, hey man, I got a job, I got off of work, I sat, ate, chilled with my wife and kids. Before I went to sleep, I did my guild battle. There's going to be people that are like, the guild battle starts in 5 minutes, guys. Prepare yourself. Be ready. Have your sword at hand. Your wands must be sharpened with the finest of magic. You know, like, yeah, there's going to be people like that. But more or less, it's going to be people that are just going to attack when they want to. And no one will be pissed. It doesn't keep, and this is the same thing with Arena. It doesn't, but this doesn't keep you at, like, attached to the game. What this allows you to do is play when you get the chance to. And if you have a guild that's pressuring you to be more than what you want, then you easily just get the hell out of that guild and go find another one. So they're showing a new skin potentially for Ruby and a new one for Esna. But if you actually are paying attention, I think, hold on, let me check something in game. In a separate post about the Knights Chronicle Season 2 via update, they also just say it here. If you have checked the dev's note that was posted recently, you'll see that Ruby and Esna will be awakened after Ashley and Damien. New awakened heroes are added in the 2.1 update. I'm sure your expectations have been surpassed. Well, that's cocky. I like cocky though. Like when a game just says like, we know we're doing good, and that's actually pretty good for them to feeling good. They're also going to give out some rewards, some SSR stuff. So yeah, the next characters, awakened characters, are actually coming a little bit quicker than I had anticipated. How are you guys enjoying this? Do you guys like what's happening? Let me know in the comment section below. I will see you guys there, all in their glory, and let me know how it is, because this is big. This is pretty good. I'm very happy. I think a lot of the changes so far are good. I do think that I wish they just listen to me. Listen to me. I know that's cocky, but I really do wish that, you know, for the runes, sort by substat, auto, like, just no more RNG in the runes upgrades. Just let us get runes, level up, and equip our characters so we can have more fun in the game. Oh my god, it's so big. It'd be so big if we could just actually have fun in the game and not have to worry about RNG nonsense. Yeah. And on that note, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.